You must also identify weaknesses so that you can address them. Compliance with the corrupt practices and other related offenses as procurement compliance with the corrupt practices and other related offenses Act 2000. You must develop and implement policies that prohibit bribery and corruption. You must develop it. Because if you have mechanisms on ground that will curb these things, that will even stop it, it will go a long way in the fight against corruption. There must be a code of conduct. Establish a code of conduct that promotes ethical behaviors and integrity. There is need for training and awareness. For everything to be good or for a practice to be maintained, there must be training and retraining. I am glad when the commissioner said that this program will continue. So it means there will be training after training. So training and awareness provides regular training and as awareness program on anti-corruption and compliance. Finally, to comply with the corrupt practices and other related offenses at 2000, you must report any wrongdoing. You must report any wrongdoing. You can even go further to establish mechanism for reporting and investigating suspected corruption and practices. Procurement procedures in Nigeria. Nigeria's procurement procedures are governed by the Public Procurement Act 2000 as amended. It aims to ensure transparency, accountability, and efficiency in public procurement processes. Key steps in public procurement include procurement planning. Procurement entities prepare the procurement plan identifying goods, works, and services needed, and prescribing methods for effecting those procurement. Tendering. Procurement entities or procuring entities must invite bids from interested parties through open competitive bidding or there must be bid evaluation. And there must be contract execution. These contracts must be signed, and the procuring entities oversees the implementation of the contracts. The following are procurement methods as enshrined in the Procurement Act 2007 as amended. Open competitive bidding. Open tendering allows interested suppliers to submit bids in response to a public announcement. Just like I said earlier, this information must be accessible. So procuring entity must make this information available to the public by way of announcement. You must publish it in newspapers, radio announcements, and in tender journals. There's also another method, which is the restrictive bidding. Restrictive bidding is used for specific contracts, such as those requiring specialized expertise or proprietary technology. They require specialized expertise. It's not every contract that you say, I want to do this one in a closed door. No. These conditions must be met. You don't do it inside your house. These conditions must be met. Request for quotation is used for low-value procurement where quotations are invited from multiple suppliers. The underlying word there is low value. Low value procurement. For local government administration, we discovered that this particular form of procurement has been frequently used in their procurement processes. So we want to talk about it and the appropriate way to go about it. Direct labor in local government procurement. Direct labor refers to a procurement method where a local government entity uses its own employees and resources to deliver goods, services, or works rather than contracting with external providers. This is what most of you do in the local government. So we are here to talk about it and the right way to go about it. Procedures for procuring to direct labors. Step 1, there must be needs assessment. There must be somebody who provides you with that application that local government or this community requires this. This office requires this. That office requires this. That's the needs assessment. You must identify the need for goods, services, or works. Determine the scope, specification, and requirements. The second step is feasibility study. You must assess the feasibility of using direct labor. Evaluate the availability of resources, including personnel, equipment, and budget. In as much as it is direct labor, there must be budgetary provisions. Step 3, planning and budgeting. You must develop a detailed project plan and budget. Allocate necessary resources, including personnel, equipment, and materials. The number 4 step is one of the most crucial steps in direct labor procurement. It is authorization. It's done because you are a local government chairman. You just do something arbitrarily. You just come to the office one day and say, I want to do this project. Give me money, let me do it. No. You must obtain the necessary approvals and authorization. You must ensure compliance with relevant regulations and policies. The 5th step is implementation. Execute this project using direct labor. Don't come and present direct labor to your F&GPC, for instance, or yes, to your F&GPC, for instance. Then you go back and go and contract this job to a contractor. It is an offense because that's not what you presented. You presented a direct labor, so it must be implemented as such. Execute the project using direct labor, monitor processes, and ensure quality control. You must ensure quality control. Step 6, monitoring and evaluation. You must regularly monitor this project progress, evaluate project outcome, and identify areas for improvement. Step 7, completion and handover. Complete the project and hand over the goods, service, or work. Ensure that all necessary documentation is completed. By following these procurement procedures, local government council can ensure that direct labor procurement is carried out efficiently and effectively. But please, do not do what is not in this step. If you say you want to do direct labor procurement, please follow these steps as it is. Let me also outline the advantages and disadvantages of this direct labor form of procurement. First, the advantages. It is cost saving. Direct labor can reduce costs associated with external contractors, control, and flexibility. Direct labor allows for greater control over the project and flexibility in managing resources. Community benefit. Direct labor can contribute to the local economy and provide opportunities for local employment. Because it is somebody that is in the local government that is doing it, they will ensure that it is the locals that will do the project, and it will grow the economy. The disadvantages of this: one is limited expertise, because it's not going to be experts, in as much as the people who are working in the local government are to an extent experts. The expertise will be limited. Direct labor may lack a specialized expertise or equipment, potentially impacting project quality. Resource constraint. Direct labor may be constrained by limited resources, including personnel, equipment, and budget. Inefficiency. Direct labor may be less efficient than external contractors, potentially leading to delay or cost overrun. So even if you want to do any project, please consider it. Do a feasibility study and see the process or the method you're going to use, and the one that will give value for money. When to use direct labor? It is mostly for small-scale projects. Direct labor is suitable for small-scale projects with limited complexity. Emergency situation. Direct labor can be used in emergency situations where external contractors may not be feasible. Specialized service. Direct labor can be used for specialized service that requires specific expertise or equipment. Approval threshold. The Finance and General Purpose Committee, the committee approves procurement decisions, ensuring compliance with the Public Procurement Act 2007. You see, it is the F&GPC that approves. It is the F&GPC that approves. Accounting officers. The accounting officer is responsible for planning and executing these procurement processes. In conclusion, implementing best practices in procurement and financial management is essential for promoting transparency, accountability, and good governance. It is therefore my recommendation that you develop and implement robust procurement and financial management policies. You provide regular training and awareness program on anti-corruption and compliance. You establish effective internal control and audit mechanism. You foster a culture of transparency, accountability, and integrity. By following this recommendation, the newly elected chairman and other political office holders can ensure compliance with the Corrupt Practices Act to avoid litigation and promote best practices in procurement and financial management. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can do better. Please put your hands together again for him. And the topic was best practices in public procurement and financial management in line with the ICPC Act. And we're told that that lecture was actually prepared. That lecture was actually prepared by Mr. Tiku Menge Andrew, the resident anti-corruption commissioner for Ondo and Ekiti, but then presented by the name again. So sorry, Mr. IK. Please put your hands together again for him. And each time he says, finally, finally. I heard finally up to 4 times. Because each time I hear finally, I thought he was going to hand over the mic, but then he still continued. So finally then was not finally. Please, I want to hand you over to the local government chairman, who happens to be the chairman, to please wrap up as well as take the question and answer segment within 15 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody here present. I want to appreciate all participants of this 4-day workshop for their perseverance and patience to listen attentively to the presentation. First and foremost, I want to appreciate Mr. A.K. Oyemechi for articulated presentations of these best practices in public procurement and financial management in line with ICPC Act. I want to appreciate you. I want everybody to join me to appreciate him. Actually, ICPC targets corruption in the public sector, especially bribery, 2, gratifications, 3, graft, 4, abuse or misuse of office. Why EFCC investigate people in all sectors who appear to be living above their means and is empowered to investigate and prosecute money laundering and other financial crimes. Specifically, Section 45 of the ICPC Act deals with the power of the chairman of ICPC to place restriction on the bank account of suspects. The presenter, the resource person, mail merchants, X-ray the functions of F and GPC meeting by the stakeholders in the local government level. They have X-ray the advantages and disadvantages of direct labor and indirect labor within the cover of the local government. You have X-ray a lot of things concerning financial management in line with the ICPC Act. I will lie without deals much because time is not at our side. I will deal on the procedure being made by the first chairman, second, and high to do it segmentally by giving us questions from the 2 segments here present, the right side and the left side. 2 questions each from each segment. Thank you. On the line, if we are expecting the question here, let me appreciate the local government chairman, Hago, the 18 local government chairman, for giving time of their no time to attend this program. I want to appreciate you all. Thank you. Even the SCDA here present, you are appreciated.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, you said something about facilitator. You said something about direct labor. That you mentioned the advantages and the disadvantages, and you said if they want to, if they want to award any contract through direct labor, that it should be small amounts. Please, can you be specific? Please be specific. Let's know the amount, the limit for the project. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, the resource person, and the participants. My name once again is Engineer Ololaye Olubusuyi Babatunde. The resource person, sir, while talking about request for quotation, you made mention of low value procurement. And also at the level of authorization, I'm aware that there are approval limits. These are relative terms. How low is a low value? And a limit that is not specific. How can one maintain a law in that regard? I'm aware that the Procurement Act 2007 has provisions, that seems to be full for the federal government. The Ondo State Procurement Law 2017 also have provisions very specific for the state government, not only for procurement process, even for bodies like the Bureau and the board. But as far as local government is concerned, because taken from the Ondo State Procurement Law 2017 now, there are places in the law where the Bureau is given power to determine some values from time to time. In the case of local government, who determines for the local government, and what is the way forward in this area of lacuna? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The direct labor method of project procurement in the local government is such a popular one, of which we achieve so many things with. There is this underlying responsibility of local government of alleviating poverty. Most of the teeming populations across the rural areas depends on the local government for survival. This method of procurement, the direct labor method, involves the usage of local content, absolutely. Though at times there might be needs to outsource when need arises. It happens. However, there are instances when the amount benchmark for the project becomes because non-functional, non-relevant with the project, especially when there is sudden change of government policies that leads to inflation. If this happens, we may need to revert back to F&GPC to seek further approval in order to be able to complete the project. When there is no problem, there might be no issue. But in case there is need to visit ICPC office, and all these things are asterisked as issues, how do we deal with them? The purpose of starting project is to complete the project and make it useful for the community. But when problem arises that leads to cost overrun, we still need to cope with it and to ensure that the project is fully completed. And in the instance of this inflation and question mark is raised, how do we deal with it? Thank you, sir.
One more question.
Well, sir, I've listened carefully to our able engineer, the question he asked in respect of procurement and other related matters. Well, this is just my opinion, but I know this opinion is somehow statutory. Let us look at Section 7 of 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Is to the effect that administration, structure, regulation, and virtually everything about local governments will be legislated upon by Ondo State House of Assembly and all other houses of assembly in Nigeria. So it shows that where there is lacuna, where there is no express law in respect of any subject matter, at the local government level, whatever that is obtainable at the state level will suffice. Thank you.
I just want to emphasize before the resource person will answer the question. This issue of corruption does not peculiar to local government level. Corruption runs through every level of Nigeria government, from considerable contract fraud at the top, through petty bribe, money laundering schemes, embezzlement, and seizing salaries from fake workers. It's estimated that corruption within the state apparatus cost the country billions of dollars annually. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for your questions. All your questions revolved around one place, the direct labor procurement. And I was expecting, I believe he's an accountant or a House of Assembly member. I was expecting a question from him, but he went ahead to answer some of the things that I would say. You know, Section 7, like he said, appropriately gave the state the authority to make decisions for local governments where there are no clear-cut rules on that. I know we are all clamoring for autonomy of local government, but I don't think it's been yet implemented. So since it's not yet implemented, the status quo remains. What is obtainable in the state is obtainable at the local government level. Now, for the threshold, this should be determined by the state policy on procurement. I know the state has a policy on procurement. So this threshold should be determined by the state policy on procurement because it is state, it is not federal. You know, if you look at the Procurement Act, it also says that in appropriate cases, the state uses their local legislature. It's also an act. So if there's a legislature on this threshold by the state government, it is advised that the local government follows it as it is. So for the chairman that asked of how much is small value, I think the FNGPC can determine that. But it should be in line with budgetary provisions. It should be in line with budgetary provisions. And for the other man that said that the local government does all those things through local content and all that, it should be in line with the budgetary provisions. And if you see direct labor, it says it should be used for emergencies. Emergencies. So I think that particular place you're talking about, emergencies should cover it. In preparing your budget as local government administrators, you must add a space for that. I think I've answered your question. If there is no other question, I think the chairman should close us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, the chairman of this segment. Thank you, Mr. A.K. Onyemechi. Thank you very much for this well-delivered lecture. Please put your hands together for them. So we're on to the last segment for the day before our lunch. And this segment is to be chairmaned by Honorable Clement Ojo, the chairman of SER Local Government. Please chair him to the top table. This lecture titled Amicable Relationship Between Political Office Holders and Civil Servants at the Local Government. The only way forward. The only way toward ensuring success at the third tier of government. This lecture is to be delivered by a thoroughbred bureaucrat and a guru when it comes to local government administration. He's a man of many parts. He's a man I have great respect for. When people like him begin to talk, we begin to tremble somehow and fear as if we are dullards. I'm sure when he was in school, these are the kind of people that we usually call Igiwe. Igiwe is a lawyer. He's a prince. That's the part I choose to pick. Prince Ade Akinbosade. Please jam your hands together for him. I don't think this is accepted. Please, you can do better. Let us celebrate our own. Thank you very much. Please celebrate him.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on existing protocol. We do regard to chairmen of local government here, both at the main local government as well as the SCDA. You are heartily welcome. And I like to equally salute my colleague who are bureaucrats that are here this afternoon. The Lord bless you richly in Jesus' name. And no less a recognition to members of the Local Government Service Commission, the commissioners. We want to thank you for sharing your time here. Essentially, the topic to talk on is entitled Synergy, or better still, collaboration between political office holders and civil servants. Synergy, maybe I should make it simpler. Collaboration between political office holders and civil servant. Precursor, or better you can use Abinga or forerunner for effective service delivery. Synergy, collaboration between political office holders and civil servants. Precursor or forerunner for effective service delivery. The papers is divided into 3 parts. Because of our limited time, I have less than 30 minutes. I'm going to read the part to you. Okay. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to read it. So we have number 1 there. I have categorized it to 3 parts. We have local government administration generally. Local government administration generally. And I'm aware too, there's another topic on it that someone else is going to take you. So I'm not going to dwell much on that. There we talk about the objective of local government administration. We talk about the function, the sources of revenue, both the federation account, both for the 10% of the state IGR, and even the provision of the constitution insofar as part 4 of the section 4 of the part 4 of the constitution provide for the internally generated revenue for local government. So you are going to read it when the papers is given to you. But now I want to base my paper on the categories of officials in the local government, the political office holders, the civil servant, their duties and responsibility, they need to be harmonized, and the third one, which is team building, to guarantee effective service delivery. So the objective is there. I want to encourage you to go through, to read it, and I'm sure that this thing is online. You can subscribe to it so that at least you can follow us on it. So we can, the objective, you can still go ahead. So I'm not going to talk much on that because you have time to read it in the literature. So you can move ahead. Let's go to the categories of officials in the local government. Median, maybe you can just push forward. Because of our time, look at the objective here. You find time to read it. Please, Steve, go ahead. Sources of funds for local government. We have the foundation account, the 10% from the state, and the IGR. Under the fourth schedule of the constitution, we have the long list there. The long list. Whether some of them are mundane, some of them are dead, but the fact remains that local government has the constitution to back them up, to assess all those revenue heads. They are long there. They are more than 30 or 40. But whether they have been generated or not is another story. Let's leave that one. And the function partnership with the state government. You look at it there. There are so many areas that we have the provisions and maintenance of primary school there, and etc. So let's go to the second leg of the paper, which is categories of functionaries in the local government. Under the first category there, we have the executive arm. There are 2 arms in the local government. We have the executive and the legislative arm. Under the executive arm, you have the chairman, the vice chairman, the secretary to local government, the supervisors, the special advisors, personal assistants, advisors, among others. And for the legislative arm, we have the leader of the house, the deputy leaders of the house, other councillors, and the clerk of the house, who is a career civil servant. The chairman, duties. Number 1 there, the chief executive officers and approving authority. The chairman is the chief executive officer and approving authority, and is also the chief security officer of the local government. 2 there, he is expected to comply fully with the checks and balances spelled out in the existing guidelines and financial regulations governing the receipt and disbursement of public fund. The chairman must comply with it. 3 is accountability. Please note, his accountability continues even after leaving office, and he may be called upon at any time after leaving the office to account for his tenure as chairman. That is the more reason why there must be collaboration between you and the bureaucracy, so that we can be on the same page. We see go to get there. For there, as the chief executive officer, he faces periodic checks in order to ensure full adherence to the financial, that is in bracket, Control Amendment Act of 2009 and all amendment. Besides all this duty, please, let's move ahead. The chairman is expected, in collaboration with his colleague and the civil servant, because if you look at the topic, synergy, collaboration between the political office holders and the career civil servant, Abinga for effective service delivery, because you are expected to deliver service, construction of road, hospitals, and so many others, and you are not expected to do it alone. That's why you have your officials there, which I'm still going to spell their own duty. And if for any reason, whatever, they are not showing much cooperation, there's a procedure you can follow. And fortunately, the commission is there. So let's talk about the chairman. I'm still on that, the chairman. The chairman is expected to render annual reports of income and expenditure to the legislative arm, to ensure that all instructions relating to expenditure of public funds are in writing. You don't give verbal instruction. Don't give verbal instruction. And as a matter of fact, a career head, the HLA that take verbal instruction, possibly is preparing to go to jail. Let financial instruction be in writing. 3, direct the affairs is to direct the affairs of the local government in conjunction with its supervisors and even the legislative arm too. Ẹnìkan kì í jẹ́ àwádé. Appoint the secretary to local government and to hold office at his pleasure. But I don't know what is applicable now. But for the book that we read and from what we used to be, I was a secretary to local government when I started my career, before it metamorphosed to political appointment. And just like the secretary to the state government too, the secretary to local government is to the chairman, just like the secretary to the state government. Appoint the supervisor subject to the approval of the legislative arm. Holds regular meetings with members of the ESCO, that is, the vice chairman, the supervisors, the secretary, and head of local government administration. Preside on all committee meetings, such as Finance and General Purposes Committee, FGPC, and Security and Intelligence Committee. He is the Chief Security Officer, I mentioned it earlier. He signed schedule to check and present annual budget to the council, the legislative arm. This annual budget is a financial law. I think I've not had the ICPC or the EFCC to have mentioned it before now. It's a financial law. You are expected every year to prepare budget. If you fail to do that, all expenditure may be termed as nugatory. You are expected. You have budget officer in collaboration with the treasurer and account department and budget department to prepare annual budget. These are regulations that has to be followed. In addition, let's move ahead. The vice chairman, he enjoyed joint mandate with the chairman. He is to be assigned a responsibility for the administration of a department. I don't know whether in your local government or SCD, whether you do that. If you actually to guarantee an effective service delivery, all of you must be on the same page. If you are holding a meeting that the SIG is supposed to be there and so, please invite them. This is a public office. And each of the officers, they have their own duties and responsibility. He preside on that court meeting, the vice chairman preside on that court meeting, is to act as chairman in the absence of the chairman and perform any other duty assigned by the chairman. Let's go ahead. The secretary to local government. 6 section 5 subsection A of Ondo State Local Government Amendment Law. That's 207. That's where that was actually passed during Agagu regime, and as well as the current law too, which is local government system establishment and administration of local government and other auxiliary matter, cap 87, laws of Ondo State 206. If you look at it, you will read clearly the duties of secretary there. They are secretary to the secretary to the executive meeting, that is finance and general purposes committee meeting, prepare minutes of the meeting and report of all meeting. But today he does it in conjunction with the organ, abi HLA. But if the two of them work together, I think it's better for the local government. He advises the local government on all matters affecting the interests of the local government, has statutory right to attend ESCO meeting, serves as chief security advisor. He can advise the chairman on any other matter too, just like a supervisor does. Because nobody prayed that the chairman should run into wahala. And coordinate activities of local government and keep proper record. Perform such duty in the as the chairman may assign. And as for the supervisors, to be appointed by the chairman, subject to confirmation by the legislative house. Political heads of their department, political heads. Let me emphasize it, political head, not the administrative head, but political heads. It's expected that the administrative head will relate. Though we are still going to show that as we progress. He gives policy instructions to the professional heads of the department and carry out such functions as chairman may assign, assist in the supervision and execution of projects, and any other duty as assigned by the local government or by the chairman. As for the legislative arm, we have the leader there, the deputy leader, other officers of the house, councillors, and clerk of the house. I will not talk on the procedure for passage of all their duties. Okay, let's move ahead. Duties of the legislative house. It debates, approves, amends the annual budget. You know, I mentioned earlier. Budget is essential. You cannot commit any expenditure without budget. Otherwise, such expenditure may be termed as nugatory. That is null and void, illegal. It is a legislative body and shall perform all its duties subject to the provisions of the 1999 Constitution and Ondo State Local Government Law 207 and 206. It has power to make bylaws for the peace, order, and good governance of the local government, and its jurisdiction shall extend to all matters contained in the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, in particular matters under the 4th schedule of the Constitution. These are the duties of the legislative arms. Please, you can still find time to read it, because I'm aware that this paper is online, and the Minister of Local Government has promised to prepare a handbook, a book on it, so that you and I can have copies. So we can just move ahead. Let's go ahead. The second category is the civil servant. This comprises the administrative heads and the entire workers in the local government. The approved scheme of service for local government employee in Nigeria, that is the 4th revised edition 206 at page 1, provide for both senior staff and junior staff, some of which include and are not limited to the following. We have head of local government administration. Before, we normally call them DAGA, Director of Local Government Administration. And after him, we have the head of each department, otherwise known and called as directors. Maybe Director of Finance, Director of General Administration and Services, Director of Environmental Sanitation, Director of just mention it, depending on the number of departments in the local government. We have deputy director under them too. We have assistant director and other rank and file officers, even up to the last one. Messenger, if you have messenger. The head of local government administration. You see, why I'm reading or talking on this duty is essential because of the last leg of this paper. Our topic is synergy, that is between the political office holders and the career civil servant, to guarantee effective service delivery. If there is no synergy, if there is no cooperation between the two bodies, definitely there is no way effective service delivery can be guaranteed or can be successfully implemented in the local government. Just like husband and wife, that almost every day that you are on the collusion course, you fight every day. Can you make any progress? It's not possible. So number one there, the HLGA is the accounting officer of the local government, while the chairman is the chief executive, and the buck stop at his table. When I say the buck stop at his table, that is all the approval stop at Mr. Chairman's table as the chief executive. Is the soul of the local government. Is the number one there. Just like Mr. Governor is the chief executive of the state, the secret officer. So the chairman is the chief executive. The buck stop at his table. But HLA, you now begin to see the reason why is the accounting officer. I will show you as we go forth. Advising the local government on policy matters and implementation. Your organ is expected to advise you on policy matters and implementation. Is the administrative management and control of the staff in the local government. Insofar as the management administratively of all the staff in the local government is through the organ and down the line to the directors, to assistant directors, to what have you. It coordinates activities of directors of the department in the local government. Liaises with the local government service commission on matters affecting the career progression of workers. That does not prevent the chairman for going to the commission to seek an audience with the chairman of the commission or any of the commissioners for any EU that is connected with any staff. It does not in any way prevent the chairman from meeting the commission, as it were. Ensures that approving authority gives approval of the expenditure before signing. Before he rates voucher or check, there must be an approver. Who is the approving authority? Chairman of Finance and General Purposes Committee. We have the expenditure the chairman is capable of approving at his level. But the F&GPC meeting has the capacity to approve, even without prejudice to the office of Mr. Governor and the Ministry of Local Government. Without prejudice to their office, the F&GPC meeting is the highest committee that can approve any expenditure in the local government, which the chairman may not be able to approve. But this is without prejudice to the office of Mr. Governor and perhaps the Minister of Local Government. It must invite the attention of approving authority to anomalies arising from approval of expenditure. Should there be any mistake or error of omission or commission done, it's expected for the organ to invite the attention of the chairman there. Because failure to do that, it may be part of the crisis. Should there be any EU? Because it is part of his duty that, okay, probably for one reason or the other, there was a mistake somewhere. It's expected to invite his attention to it. Come on, Mr. Chairman, this is not so. He may discuss verbally. And if he declines, let him commit to writing. Mr. Chairman, you said, okay, we should go and withdraw 1 million naira from the IGR. Verbally, please approve in writing. I'm sure the chairman will know better within twice. Okay, it's better for us that, okay, this matter should be written. And if he declines, I don't expect the organ to orchestrate the check, because all instruction pertaining to finance must be in writing. I said it earlier. For a verbal instruction to be given, and you go out there to commit an expenditure, you are running foul of the law. And I think we have listened enough to what the ICPC and the EFCC have said. All financial instruction must be in writing. Yes, verbal instruction is as good, is another good instruction can be given. But if I were you go back, so Mr. Chairman or Mr. Vice Chairman, you gave an instruction that 2 million naira should be released to KBAC of Dome Town. Please approve. You are helping the chairman and you are helping yourself. So it's no longer a verbal instruction, because you have committed into writing and you have secured the approval of the chairman. Because auditor will come tomorrow and such expenditure that is not backed up with any document may be declared nugatory. And like I said earlier, they say your accountability extend beyond your tenure. Your tenure is for 4 years. Even when you felt that you have retired, about maybe 10 years after you have left the office, or less than 10 years, you can still be called upon to come on account for your stewardship. Liaise with the chairman in taking decisions that affect any members of the staff. Is a member of F&GPC meeting and the Security and Intelligence Committee meeting. He perform any other duty that may be assigned to him from time to time from time to time by the chairman, and he sign the schedule to check. That is head of local government administration. So now let's move ahead. Please, media. The duties of HLA as accounting officer, you know, I mentioned it earlier. When you mention accounting officer, it's not an accountant. It's somebody that is vicariously liable for any omission or commission. Somebody that is expected to ensure due diligence in the discharge of his or her duties. So, number one there, the accounting officer, who is the head of local government administration, must ensure that all instruction relating to expenditure of public funds is in writing. I said it earlier that HLA is the accounting officer, while the chairman is the chief executive officer who approves all expenditures. But the one that is not capable to approve is going to be sent to the F&GPC meeting, where we have the supervisors, the secretary of local government, the organ there. And they will take decision, just like a word of contract. Any expenditure that is beyond the threshold of chairman approval must be taken to the F&GPC meeting. 2 is ensure that expenditure and income are provided for in the annual budget. That is, all expenditures and income are provided for in the annual budget, because it's financial law. You provide, maybe this year we are going to construct a bridge, we are going to grade road, we are going to clear bush verges, or everything, just like the state, even at federal level. President Tinubu won't say, because I'm the chief executive of the Nigeria, that we won't send a bill for an act to the National Assembly. It has to be done. It's a financial law. So why must the local government be an exception? Even when we don't have elected chairman, the local government must still prepare the budget and be sent through the Ministry of Local Government to the House of Assembly, because it's a financial law. To do otherwise, you are committing illegality. The money that is not budgeted for, you are not expected to actually touch it. So it must ensure necessary heads and subheads in the budget provisions are adhered to. You see, it does that with the help of Director of Finance. He sent it. In case there's an issue, you send it to the Director of Finance. Okay, please, let's prepare the head and subhead. Some of us that are accountants, we know what I'm saying better. We have various heads that particular expenditure must be secured. Ensure relevant approvals are secured before incurring expenditure. And ensure that relevant vouchers are raised, audited, and posted for retirement of expenditure. You raise necessary vouchers. That's where the chairman can go. If he can do all these things, by the time your tenure finishes, you can go to your house and sleep with your 2 eyes closed. EFCC will not be running after you. There are certain mistakes that you can make without even stealing money for failure to adhere to some of these guidelines. He ensured that cash book for income and expenditure are posted and properly kept. During Mimiko regime in year 2013, when we had this primary CCU, some of our colleagues who are DAG, about 7 of them were put on suspension for almost a year. Because they didn't allow, and treasurer too, because of failure to keep the cash book. So it is not out of your duty, Mr. Chairman, or the ladies and gentlemen here, that you must ensure that officer that keep the cash book does it timeously. You are spending money, you didn't take care that, okay, these things are properly documented. They were suspended for 1 year But for God's intervention, probably they wouldn't have been recalled to service. The account was audited. It was discovered that the book of accounts, the cash book, were not kept. And they spent so much money. Gentlemen, I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is the moment of truth. And I must commend the Minister of Local Government for this. We are talking about local government autonomy. Autonomy can only be guaranteed when the necessary groundwork are done. And part of this groundwork we are doing here now, today. Ensure that safe custody of book of account, vouchers, checkbook, and other instruments for cash transaction. The organ is not the one that's going to keep it. It's that of finance. But you must ensure. Failure to do that, it may be a case of negligence. And it can be query and sanction too. If as a organ or as a chairman, you are expected to ensure that all the necessary rules and regulations are followed. And ensure that audit queries, if any, are promptly answered and remitted appropriately. Audit queries that you may find as a chairman that probably were sent from the office of the Director General, you are expected to ensure that they are answered. And even during your tenure too, any audit queries, ensure, get an officer in charge of it that will help you to track it for any audit queries. Answer it timeously. And the work that can be done is for you not to be invited to the House of Assembly to defend it, rather than for EFCC to come here to come and boggle you and your book of accounts to Benin. Ensure vouchers are audited by the internal auditor or director of audit, and before payment is made. Don't be a rush man. Ensure that all those processes are followed. So let's move ahead. We have other departmental directors too. We have the finance and supply department. We have the personnel management department. Some of them I'm going to mention after now. The works and housing department, the agricultural department, the environmental department, community education information department, legal department, budget and planning, and so many others. So let's go ahead. Another principal officers in the local government is Director of Administration and General Services. And if you look at it, you see the duties. The head of personnel management, general services and administration of the department is in charge of day-to-day running of the department. Policy initiation, advises the head of local administration on policy matters, chairman of junior staff management committee. Departmental vote controller, sign all checks in conjunction with director of finance. The chairman does not sign check. He signs schedule to a check, just like HLA. That is the provision of the law. I am not the one that's saying it. Even at the state level, the commissioner does not sign check. The chairman, the governor does not sign check. It's director of administration. So he signs checks in conjunction with director of finance. So two people sign check. The DGSA and director of finance. Any other duty that may be assigned from time to time by the chairman, organ, set to local government, or the local government, or the finance and general purposes committee meeting. Let's move to the other one. Duty of director of finance. He serves as the chief controller, chief financial advisor to the local government. Decide. Serves as chief financial advisor to the local government. ensure that accounting system as laid down in the financial laws. When I talk about financial laws, it can be the FM and any other law, financial law in the state, are complied with by all the departments, prepares and publish monthly and annual financial statement of account, signatory to local government account and checks, custodian of security documents of the local government, and perform such other related functions as contained in the financial law and as assigned by the organ, chairman, and the FIGP meeting. Why are you climbing? Let's go ahead, please. Let's move ahead. No, that's last one there. Let me read it. It's a sectional head, and we have the sectional head. We have other sectional head. We have the internal auditor. The internal auditor must audit all vouchers before check can be written. And he has the capacity to raise audit alarm. But I pray it won't get to that level. And there is the external auditor too. After the internal auditor must have completed his work, the external auditor will come from Office of Auditor General for Local Government, that will go through the vouchers and the account of the local government. So, and you are expected to listen to them and cooperate with them. So now we are going to the last segment of the lecture. You know, the topic again is synergy between political office holders and career civil servants, precursor or harbinger for effective service delivery. Because for some times we have come to discover that local government has not been effective in terms of developmental effort, either because of failure to have enough fund or what have you. That is the more reason why I have to thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the autonomy. Though we still feel that the autonomy is still incoherent, that it is not complete, but one day it will complete, whereby the local government will have enough financial muscle. But if you have financial muscle, if there is no agreement between the two most important parties in the local government, between the career civil servant and the political office holder, can there be any achievement made? Definitely it will be very difficult. That is the whole essence of this. And that's why I've taken my time to read for you the duties of each of the two segments, the political office holders as well as the civil servant, to know that you need each other. Just like the husband and wife, you really need each other. Even if only for the fact that to ensure that you don't run into problem. If for one reason or the other, internal auditor is in the office there and you feel that you can just spend money without recourse to him, you are making a mistake. Yes. The director of finance will release a check after the director of general administration will have written a memo to through the organ to the chairman and approve of it, and the internal auditor is inside a cubicle there. You don't allow him. But either you like it or not, he's going to audit it. There's no payment that can be made without the internal auditor auditing the voucher. So it's better that every one of us will be on the same page. That is the whole essence of this lecture. Ẹnìkan kì í jẹ́ àwádé. We must be on the same page. On the same page. It's better for all of us to either to swim together or drown together. And we are not going to drown in Jesus' name. But when a party is planning to be more clever than another, there will be crisis, there will be problem. So how to get there now is the next one. Team building. Media, please. The next one. Team building. Team building for effective service delivery. What do you mean by a team? Many of us are soccer lovers. We have the Manchester United, we have the Arsenal or the Barcelona. This is my club. That's what they call team. Can Messi, even in all majesty, can he perform the work of the 11 player on the pitch? It's not possible. It's not possible. We have to work as a team. And you shall see, even if animal can do that, animal ant, you are going to see. Team is a number of persons associated together with a view to accomplishing a common goal. Their collective aspect is called teamwork. Teamwork. In local government, in local government, there must be a teamwork. In Akure South, there must be a teamwork. And that's why, even at state level, the governor cannot do it alone. That's why he has commissioners. He has board and parastatals. A situation whereby a chairman will lock his office until when he comes to the office, that thing will not work. He cannot do it alone. He's not helping himself. Or an organ that felt that, okay, that after I'm number one career civil servant. He or she is making a mistake. Because if the director of finance declines to sign a check, or the DGSA decides to sign a check, or if the internal auditor, as small as he is, decline to audit it, you are in a problem. So no individual can do the work all alone and effectively too. Building a strong team, that is what I'm canvassing for. This is what this paper tends to achieve. Building a strong team of employees for performing various responsibilities ought to be prime objective of administrator in the local government. It is not a winner take all. Oh. Just look at the team I mentioned, football team. 11, even those that are in reserve, they contribute. I think there was one slogan, one day I just shake, I just jabby. I heard it on radio. If we work together, we eat together. But we must deliver. We must deliver. When you cannot even grade a road, a 1 kilometer road, and you are sharing 10 million naira. The whole essence of local government, that is why I mentioned it earlier. You go and read it. That part A, the first part there. The objective. When General Yaadua read his speech in 1976, when they orchestrated the reform in the local government service, it was essentially targeted at bringing development to local government. But today, it will appear that it has failed almost woefully. Like I said, no individual can do it alone. Teamwork. Let's move ahead. Look at this. Look at teamwork at its peak here. This is what we call organogram of local government. See the chairman there, sitting majestically there. See the vice chairman, see the vice, see the SAG, see the organ, see all the departments, even to the least worker. To the least worker. So in essence, it means that even level 1 officer there is as important as the chairman. We must not You must try not to ensure that winners take all. Look at teamwork to the last person, to the messenger, level messenger. Okay, look at the other map there. This is football. Look at the goalkeeper, the number 1, number 3, number 4. Teamwork. It is not a one-man show. Not one-man show. You can go ahead. Characteristics of high performance team is set high output, high quality target, and achieve. Look at the characteristics of a team that perform very well. They have targets. They collaborate. Have high degree of autonomy. Learn quickly from mistakes. Are client oriented. These are characteristics of a high performance team. Let's move ahead. Look at synergy at workplace. I think if maybe you have a pastor here, you know there is a portion of the Bible where some people they plan at the head meeting that they want to build a house to heaven. You know, they were almost achieving it. Except when God said, if care is not taken, if you knock my door, it now puts disagreement into our midst. What section of the Bible do you have a pastor here? I said, they say Genesis 11. They put heads together. That, okay, we must go and greet God. Good morning, sir. And before you know it, because there is consensus, agreement, teamwork, the most intelligent chairman is the one that works by team. It's no longer go and wait for your time. Go and wait for your time. Go and wait for your time. And even when you look at it now, what is in life? What is it? It can be another person's turn tomorrow. If care is not taken. I work with a chairman of a local government. He marginalized the vice chairman to the extent that he nearly removed his official car and be given to me. I declined that I won't use it. I prefer using my own car. Lo and behold, less than 1 year, Abacha dissolved the local government and he brought a sole administrator who was there for another 1 year. You know, after the 1 year of sole administrator, there was an election. You know, that vice chairman became the chairman of the local government. And the chairman still has a lot of money that yet to collect. And he was now begging me to talk to him. I didn't want to get myself involved into political long jam. I sought for my transfer. I left the place. Look at. He marginalized to the extent of withdrawing your official car. And said I should be using it. I said I don't need it. At least I have a small blue board then. So it can be another person's turn tomorrow. Look at synergy. Agbajowo. Òun la fi ń sọ̀yà. Ẹnìkan kì í jà wá dé. Okay, let's now we have not done. Attribute of high performance team. Look at it. Participating leadership. Share responsibility. Align on purpose. Yes, purpose. High communication guided by mission statement. Focus on tasks. These are the hallmark of high performance team. Building a team. What do? There must be a goal. Collaboration. Coaching. Training. Support. Skill. Solution. Motivation. it is not out of place to recommend someone for seminars. It is not out of place to recommend some of the workers for postgraduate training. So this is part of how you can build a team. You must have a goal. That maybe for across our local government, maybe you formulate a goal for your local government and you work towards it without deviating from it. So this is team building, you can see. So that gets to the last aspect. Behavioral trait of effective leaders. We are talking about effective leadership. It must be proactive. It must walk the talk. Walk the talk. Your yes must be yes, not yes, no, or no, yes. Willpower must have the willpower. Think win-win. Courage, balance with consideration, synergy, continuous improvement, and self-renewal. These are empathy. These are what a good leader needs. So, the next one. Next slide. Yes, look at it. Even in the animal world, the whole is greater than the sums of its parts. In the animal world, there is collaboration, there is cooperation, there is synergy. They work together to ensure that there is success. This is animal world, building of team. And finally, let's go to the final aspect of it. Effective leader must have all this following: the openness, consultation, support, and trust, and provide appropriate feedback mechanism, clear objectives, staff development, and training. Let's go ahead. Conclusion: democracy achieves its purpose when the interests of people are well served. Please, let's listen. Democracy is not only for payment of salary or for payment of furniture allowance. Or for salary and emolument. The interests of the people must be well served in terms of construction of road, turning of road, construction of bridges. It will get to a situation whereby the chairman cannot be able to sleep in the house because people are hungry. The noble objective of this noble objective will continue to be undermined if local government administration across Nigeria, as presently constituted, was not comprehensively restructured for challenges of good governance and sustainable development within the Nigeria federal setup. Put differently, the local government needs to be restructured in line with the underlisted recommendation to guarantee effective service delivery. Let's go there. The recommendation. The recommendation, please. 1, allocation of more resources from the federal account to local government. This is my recommendation. State government to take up payment of 50% of primary school teacher salaries. Primary health care agency to be taken over by the state government, particularly in the area of payment of workers' emolument. It actually takes the large chunk of local government funding. The provisions of the 1999 Constitution under the fourth schedule of the Constitution is unambiguous in the area of revenue collection. It will appear that any law that is contrary cannot stand the test of time. Better still, remain null and void. The Joint Account and Allocation Committee to be looked into in the state of the Federation where it has been bastardized. The Local Government Service Commission to be enlisted in the Constitution. The Ondo State Pension Reform Act 204 to be implemented fully to guarantee timely payment of terminal benefit. And finally, the last but not the least, recruitment of fresh graduates into the critical department to avoid challenges of succession plan. I rest my case.
Thank you very much for that round of applause. I think we can do better. They say a prophet is not without honor but in his own home. Thank God that you appreciate what you have. Like I told you, he's a man of many parts, a retired permanent secretary, but not tired. You can see he's not tired. See, and it's not every time that you have the opportunity to see people like this. So please, I advise you. Any area where you need clarification, any question, please feel free to ask, because you may not have the time to see him seated like this another day. I told you he's a man of many parts. I want to hand you over to the chairman. I don't want to say the chairman has 15 minutes because I think there may be a lot of questions and areas of clarification. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Let me appreciate the facilitator for a job well done. I will have said, let me stand on the existing protocol, but I'm sitting down. Let me sit on the existing protocol. This is an eye-opener, and all of us agreed with his submission. It's a primus inter pares and a sine qua non to deepen a relationship between the political and the career officers in the local government. There's no doubt about that. One thing is sure, that if this is not happening in any of the local government, please, let's go back and synergize and allow this to work. Because where this is not working, there is bound to be chaos. It's a sacrosanct thing that we must allow to work. And in its working, it benefits both parties. I think it is self-explanatory enough. But if there's any gray area where we think the facilitator should expatiate more, and I want to believe he would agree to do justice to that. Without belaboring the point any longer, I want to believe that the slide will be made available for us to go back home and critically examine it and see how we will make it to work. We will allow two people to ask questions, one from this side and one from this side. And that is because it is self-explanatory. And if there's any gray area, we should be able to do justice to that within ourselves. This is I'm just believing that all other lectures we have had here has been externalized. And this is the first lecture that is internalized. And one of the reasons why all of us are here this evening. Thank you. And who is asking the first question? It's all right.
Thank you, sir. I will go to my question straight. We've talked about teamwork, and that's what I want to talk about. The essence of the teamwork is to achieve the established goal of the organization. And when we look at the system we have today, from each department in the local government, there are protocols. And most of these duties of each department has been established. I want to look into the area where these duties are overlapping and where the rules are not strictly followed. Permit me to dip into this financial area. The duties of the OGA, chairman, DFS, and the DGSA. I had the opportunity of working in 3 local governments as DGSA in the recent time.
And what operates there is not different from other local government based on the comment from my colleagues from other local governments. We've established it that majority of these duties, people that are supposed to perform certain duties are being overlooked, not recognized. We all know that. And I want this sitting, as you've explained, sir, to look into the area of not just signing of check, but some of these duties that should be assigned strictly to certain person, DGSA, DFS, and the OGA. Some of the decisions, not just the financial decision alone, have turned the DGSA to rubber stamp. And yes, sir, I'm sorry to say that. And I want this sitting to please look into that and help us address it. It cuts across all the local government. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you very much. And dutifully, I am respecting and honoring and recognizing my boss for doing substantial justice to these people. I want to thank you, sir. And my prayer is that a consultant like you will not leave us soon in Jesus' name. Having said that, I'm not going to ask a question, but mine is to comment briefly. And my brief comment is this, because we are dealing with synergy between the political office holders and the bureaucracy for effective service delivery. And without doubt, we all understand that the local government service is purely, or the local government system is purely a service-oriented system. And it is a product of law as enshrined in the Constitution. Having said that, my take is this. It's a token of comment and advice to our political office holders at the local government and the top bureaucrats that are here. Without being told, I thank our boss again. He has seen it all in the local government service. And when he says it, definitely by academics, by experience, by exposure, by administration, he has seen it all. There is no overlapping in the function. I quickly want to sip in this thing. There's no overlapping in the functions of the operators of the local government system. No overlapping. And that is where I'm going to anchor my advice. The similar overlapping that we seem to be seeing, they are man-made. They are made by man. And what we can use to correct it is to always understand that time changes. It's not constant. I have seen people who have been House of Assembly members, but today they are caretaker or in LCDs. I've seen people formerly who have been local government, substantive local government chairman, but today they are LCA, LCDA chairman. Positions change and it is transient. So whatsoever position, either chairman, vice chairman, leader of council, top bureaucrats, understand that it's ephemeral, it's transient, the position you are occupying. The only legacy that you can leave to humanity and for the development of your society is to ensure that we are all human beings and that we are made from dust. Whatsoever that we acquire or accumulate, they are going to fizzle out with time. Therefore, that position You are chairman, that position that you are occupying, you are holding it in trust of the people, for the people. The people are the ultimate beneficiary. And be conscious of that you will leave that position. Whatsoever you do while occupying that position is what people will remember you for. My prayer is that all of us, that humanity and people will remember us for good. Therefore, let us be straightforward in our dealing. Not shall change anybody. Whatever we will become in life, we will definitely become. Some years back, about 1.5 years back, I never knew I would be here. I retired when I was 55. Less than a year, I was made a commissioner. That is how time changes. And I pray that our own time will come. So don't be, and if you are in the lower, you are not Oga, don't pray that your Oga should die quickly so that you can go and occupy. Don't pray like that. Just be loyal, because loyalty pays. And what you are doing, be diligent and be effective in your duties. God help all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry, maybe I should overrule myself. It seems we are having some people agitated to ask questions. Okay, if that is the case, the facilitator will answer to that 2 questions. Thank you, or 1. Do we still allow them to talk? Eh? They say they are not talking. I think the only question will appear to be answered. Eh? And the area of overlapping, and the commissioner there has actually confirmed there's no overlapping. And such area that will appear to be overlapped, I think that can be resolved. But I don't believe there's overlapping. And should there be any, I think the commission is the highest, apart from the governor's office, that you can make a report to the commission to look into it. And I'm sure the commission will adjudicate on it to the extent that everyone will like it. And finally, too, I want to add this. There's this man, a philosopher, Henry Watwell Longfellow. He said, "What legacy are you leaving behind?" It is this time that we should begin to think that the legacy that you and I will leave behind. We have seen chairmen and chairmen over time that after 3 years of their political disengagement, we hear them no more. And some of them even trekking, riding Okada today. So I want to appeal to you, the political office holders, and even the career officers too, that we should be very careful that we are passing through this way but once, and whatever good or bad that we want to do it, so that we will be remembered. And it's better for us to be remembered for good. So at this end, I will like to round up and take my exit. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Prince Ade Akinbosade. We really appreciate you. We also want to thank Honorable Clement Ojo, the chairman of Sel Local Government. We celebrate you also. Please jam your hands together for them. With this, we've come to the end of the segments for today. But then there is tomorrow also, day 3. We want to enjoin all participants to please come early so that we can also finish early. It's time for lunch. Please just be on your seats. and the lunch will be served. Please, we want to employ the caterers and the servers to please be fast about it. At least it's like we're finishing early today. I think tomorrow we can do better if we come early. We can start the papers 10 on the dot so that we can leave here on time. Thank you very much. Please be on your seat while you are being served. Servers, we are waiting for you. Please be on your seat. Please be on your seat. Please be on your seat. You'll be served. Caterers, please be served. Be fast about it. Thank you very much.